Alright, everybody, welcome to the Multiverse of Marvel podcast, where each week our resident Marvel guys, Aaron and Dan Grinley, will dive into a crazy corner of the ever expanding Marvel multiverse, to see which topic we're discussing this week. Or this time, sorry. But actually, this time I was kind of dumb and I forgot to press record right away, like right before we started recording. So we recorded this like Wednesday right after San Diego Comic Con. We were discussing like what all they announced there. So we just missed us talking about She-Hulk and Secret Invasion, and then we kind of pick up like right where we just started discussing Ant-Man and the Wasp of Quantumania. So sorry about that. I just have a weird work schedule for the next couple weeks and wasn't able to put time aside to meet up with the guys to redo the intro. So we get this instead. So we're just gonna hear us next, so we talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, and hopefully you enjoy the episode. So then Ant-Man and the Wasp next, Quantum Mania. So
That one's also got me pretty excited too, because
yes.
again, things that could show up there and all that.
Yeah, because I was
great.
always suggested that Kang's going to show up in that. Has that ever been confirmed?
Oh no, that was from the get that Kang was going to be the villain
Okay.
in Quantum Mania.
Yeah, they
and
confirmed that way back.
That's where
Okay.
he was going to be introduced.
Okay, well, I wasn't sure if that was just like
That was like the first thing that they revealed. Like it's
Okay.
called Quantum Mania. Kang's the bad guy.
Okay.
Here's who's playing him. We're gonna have fun. So that's why it was such a shocker when Jonathan I can't
Majors.
think of his last
Jonathan
name. What was it?
Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors. Yeah, well, like when he shows up in Loki, like
he
that's a
wasn't-
big shock because
Yeah.
everybody knows he's already cast as Kang.
Yeah. So that is coming out February 17th, 2023. So so we got
We got some time to wait.
Yeah, so and that's like the third Ant-Man movie, right? Yeah.
Yeah, third one. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then speaking of thirds, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I'm hearing that one's gonna be really good.
Yeah, so you guys dug the first two?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
I mean James Gunn. Aaron and I dig James Gunn films in general.
Yeah.
It's more of enjoying it as a James Gunn film than enjoying it as a Marvel film.
Yeah,
like I like
exactly.
that, like it ties in with the movies, like all the other stuff, and that they use like Marvel characters. But let's be honest, it's a James Gunn movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think I saw something that actually going to bring in Adam Warlock. He's actually going to show up because
Yep. Will Poulter is playing him.
They've teased him for far too long.
because that was who they teased in the one of the credit scenes in the second one.
one.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They wanted him in the second one, but James said he couldn't find a proper way to get him in there, so push it back.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't want to shoehorn Adam Warlock in where
No, not at
he's
all.
not
So quick
too
little
major a character.
what's his deal again?
So Adam Warlock was originally the perfect humanoid created by the Enclave, I think they were. Group of secret scientists. They made him this golden skinned male, and he rebelled against them right away. This, I believe, was in Fantastic Four that this happened, 66 and 67, I want to say. This is fairly early in Fantastic Four he first shows up. He's like a newborn, so he's without purpose. He tangles with Thor a couple times because I think he wants, is it Jane Foster or is it Sif? Whoever Thor's lady love at the time was, him is like, I want her, she looks good, and then that causes a fight, and he's like, oh, why am I causing fights? Then he goes off and starts attaining better understanding of things. He undergoes a major overhaul once Jim Starlin gets a hold of him, and that's where the real growth of the Marvel Cosmic Universe starts to happen.
And what's his powers and whatnot? Is that a
He's kind of nebulous when it comes to powers. Like
so just kind of
he's
super strong.
He
can fly.
He's got the usual stuff. Like he can go toe to toe physically with Thor, but he's more of like a Doctor Strange, Doctor Doom kind of character where
magic space powers.
Magic space powers.
All right.
Space Jesus.
All right.
Space Jesus pretty much sums it up.
All right, sounds good. So then Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah,
it's
so
looking good.
the trailer looked really good, and that will be Guardians is coming out May 5th, 2023.
Yep.
And then with Wakanda Forever, it's November 11th, the day before my birthday. November,
Hooray.
22,
This year.
2022. Yeah. So that trailer looked really good.
I'm still
yeah.
hoping out that maybe we might get a chance to see Storm, but I have a feeling that after Chadwick Boseman passed away, she may have been story.
Sorry, who?
Storm. There was
Oh,
original rumors flying around was that Storm was going to be one
Oh.
of the main story parts of the second movie.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this was back when Chadwick was still alive.
Oh yeah.
But now
Because they got married at one
Yep,
point.
that's
right?
actually been a long story thing way back in Marvel Team Up, whatever, back in 1980. They showed that Storm and Black Panther knew each other quite well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had met as teenagers.
Yep.
Nice.
And then, of course,
he
that
was
led
on
to
a
them getting married.
pilgrimage. She was living with a group of thieves.
No, she was past that. That was when she was on
Oh
her
no, right?
pilgrimage.
Yeah, she was.
The
She was
Thieves
with
Guild.
No, just
That
another.
was when she was on her sort of walking around Africa and just trying to help people and learn how to use her powers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, there was a group of villagers or kids she was with, though. I remember her getting betrayed or something when in that hardcover one that you've got.
Well, I was talking about the actual Marvel Team Up issue itself, though, which it's one of the ones I actually don't have in my collection, but should, because I mean, I'm pretty sure it's by John Byrne, and it's like a pretty important X-Men story that I don't have from back of that era.
Now that you got your computer up and running, you're gonna have to
Look it up.
get your list updated.
Well, I still have to get my hard drive out of the old computer.
And
somehow,
all that fun
Excuses,
stuff.
excuses.
Yeah.
This new one doesn't have a second attachment for me to get this other hard drive in there, so I have to get myself an enclosure or something to get all my stuff.
I know, when I did mine, I made sure the case has like five or six slots for hard drive. So,
but he told me there was room to do it in this, and he was right. There is, but it doesn't have the right hookup. And then I'm looking at getting and I think I need to get the right hookup. I need to change my power supply. So fuck it, we'll just let's just do an external. Leave it at that, right?
Yeah. So
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Well, except for
back to Marvel though.
Yeah. So after that is Echo.
Another one that we are going to have Daredevil in apparently.
Yeah. Because because that was the character that was in the Hawkeye show, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
She is the original in the comics. She is the original Ronin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then to tie in with Daredevil, because spoilers if nobody's seen the Hawkeye show yet, at the end is when Vincent D'Onofrio shows up.
Yeah, if it's D'Onofrio shows up at the end of it,
so it kind of ties their up. So that'll.
Well, I hear he's an Echo, and then he's also they haven't confirmed that he's in Born Again, but.
Of course, he's got to be.
As soon as they announced Born Again,
as soon as they announced it, and people asked D'Onofrio about it on Twitter, his response was, "When I was a boy," and they just left it at that.
Yeah. Oh, of course, because if they're calling it that, because I actually do have the single issues of that. Like when I got the job,
I think you got them because their price shot up.
Yeah, because
they did.
The summer I was working at Much Music, which is around the corner from where I live. I was fucking working like a full-time job and Much Music money, so
next time I'm in Toronto visiting my brother-in-law, I'm coming to see you because you have to live like down the street.
Probably. So like the comic book store I was going to in Newmarket had them all like for sale for like $40-50 or something like that. So I was like, fuck, I was like, I had the money, so what the hell? And it was I hadn't read them yet, and I knew it was one of the seminal Daredevil storylines, and holy shit! Any listeners who hasn't read that storyline, fucking go and read it somehow, because Daredevil Born Again.
I imagine you should be able to find the trade
Marvel
pretty
story.
easily. If you can't find the trade easily right now, probably pretty soon, because I mean, with it coming out, they're gonna put it back into print if it isn't already in print.
Yeah. So it's so good. So if it's called that, he's gonna show up.
Oh yeah.
He can't not. So
no, he can't not. Yeah.
So
you know what else it implies?
What's that?
Are we gonna get Nuke?
Oh,
we've already had Nuke but he didn't quite become Nuke.
Yeah.
So will we finally see him as Nuke?
Yeah. Because
I think that what did that happen in again? Was that Jessica Jones or?
I think so, yeah, because that was the one with like the pills, right? I think.
Yeah, he was the cop who was helping out for a bit, and then he got on the pills and stuff. And like he was Nuke, like
he's like give
Frank
me
Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. Hopefully, we'll see some old storylines progress.
Yeah. So that and then of course that means what's her face? So I'm better.
Actually, I'm hearing Elektra might be recast.
Oh,
The rumor I heard was that instead of going for whoever did her in the Netflix stuff, it might be Isa Gonzalez they're going for this time.
Oh, nice. I was going to say the redhead from the vampire show.
Honestly, in my opinion, this time maybe she cast a Greek woman to play her. Just
Oh, yeah,
this will be the third time around. And the
Yes,
first time you didn't cast a Greek woman, the second time you didn't cast a Greek woman.
they're getting closer, so maybe this time around they actually get it right this time. Fucking I forget I forgot what I was talking about. So Echo, that's like 6 episodes, and that was like next year, 2023.
Yep.
Doesn't have it summer, so it doesn't have a date on it yet. So probably like June or July, probably. And then, of course, like Loki season 2 is coming out.
That one, I'm interested to see where that one's gonna go.
So him and his variants just causing a ruckus around the multiverse. Of course,
I think there will be repercussions impacting Loki season 2 from probably the next couple of movies.
Yeah. Well, I've heard rumors that Loki is going to show up in Quantumania, but again, that's nothing set in stone.
Or it could just be like them going through stuff, and he's like, "Hey guys," and then pops out or something, probably. So that's probably.
He's the only one right now that we know of that is actually aware of the threat that Kang possesses.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be the forebearer or whatever. Yeah. So you imagine that's probably going to be like between like 6 to 9 episodes, because season 1 was 9 episodes, right? I think.
Yeah, so I imagine Loki season 2 will probably be about the same.
Yeah, and then Mahershala Ali is Blade.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to all this new Marvel stuff this year.
November 3rd.
Mahershala Ali as Blade, I think is going to be awesome.
Yes.
I have yet to see him in anything he hasn't been awesome in.
Yeah, because
the idea of having Wesley Snipes like play one of like Blade's mentors or something in this one,
I love the first 2 of the 3 Blades.
yeah. There's some enjoyable stuff in the third one, not a lot, but
and then a couple months ago at Young and Dundas Theater, they showed the original Blade, so I actually got to go see that in the theater again. That was fucking so good.
That's how you got to check that.
Yeah, I love them. I
lived in Toronto.
Yeah, I think we were too young to see the first one, but we definitely saw the second one.
Yeah, most people go for the second one for this favorite Blade, but I love the first one.
The first one is still fun, right?
That is definitely my favorite one of all of them so far. But I'm so looking forward to this because Mahershala Ali was in the first was in
he was in Alita.
And Luke Cage too, right? I think.
Yeah, he was in Luke Cage.
Yeah,
right. I believe he played Cottonmouth.
And he was fucking so good in that show. So
he said I've yet to see him in anything that he wasn't great, fantastic in, right?
That'll be good. But it's just the only bad thing is it's not till next year, November next year. So I got a year and a bit to go, but it'll be good. Then Ironheart, which is Riri Williams.
Yep, and they've already changed her quite a bit with her origin and everything so far. They've been showing with Black Panther too. But I mean, hey, Marvel's been doing great stuff so far. I'll watch this one as well.
Yeah. So that's like she gets like Iron Man type suit or whatever.
She makes her own.
Okay, that's kind of like
her whole thing is she's a teenage girl who goes out of her way and makes her own Iron Man armor. In the comics, she kind of uses like Tony Stark as sort of a mentor, but they're obviously not going to be doing that in this. So it looks like they're using Shuri quite possibly as her mentor.
Oh, nice. That'll be good. So that's gonna be like a series for fall of 2023. So probably 6 to 9 episodes as well. Probably 9, I would imagine, whenever that gets announced. Then Agatha, Coven of Chaos.
Again, no idea where it's going, but
so it'd probably be
just off the announcement alone. It's kind of why. Show me more of what might be going on in this, and then I'll start to get hyped.
I think the reason why is because
Agatha's good, but she's good actress, good character, but I worry that that alone might be a little bit of oversaturation.
Yeah, because after the issue was really big when the show came out, but since the show came out, you haven't really heard anything. So
this also might be their next step show
as well. So do you think it'll be like back in time when she was like back in time when she was Corona, which would
I think
be
a bit of it is. I think a bit of it also be modern stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of hope that it ties into more of the Scarlet Witch story, because one of the things they were saying is that they kind of wanted to use her long term, and that one of the best ways they know of doing that is making her kind of be the mentor to Wanda that she was in the comics. So that, I mean, they're obviously they're using Wanda again. Like, they obviously didn't, get rid of Elizabeth Olsen. So
so she's around for a while still. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's winter 2023. So probably like December, probably.
Oh, but you missed the most important one before that comes out. The most important X-Men thing or Marvel thing, X-Men 97.
It's okay. It's
that is going to be the one thing that trumps everything else that Marvel is doing, is the fact that they're bringing back that cartoon.
Oh yeah, that's coming up. That's
yeah, it's going to be October next year. Now, I've said before, they should release the first episode this October, because 30 years before, that's when the first episode got released. And when they first put it on TV, when we all first would have seen it, it wasn't completed. There was a little bit of special effects and sound effects and things that weren't there. So hey, 30 years later, do it again. Release a kind of not quite complete first episode, and then finish off the rest of the season when it's ready and release it.
I love that show so much.
Oh, it's so good. Because of that, I started watching my run through. I was watching the first episode again right before I came to jump in the chat right now.
Nice. And what was it? Joe Perry did the theme song, or was that for Spider-Man?
That was Spider-Man.
Oh fuck. Oh yeah.
Although somebody did do the X-Men theme song, but I can't remember exactly who. Let's see if I can find out. But no, Joe Perry, I believe, was the Spider-Man one.
Yeah. So and then so after that is the Daredevil Born Again, which we're talking about. So Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio in his
D'Onofrio,
not in his Edgar suit. So that's coming out spring of 2024. So probably like March probably is when they usually release stuff in the spring, I think. So then Captain America: New World Order. Do we know what that one's about, or just the title?
Just the title.
Just the title, yeah.
Yeah. So and then Anthony Mackie as Cap, and then I reimagine Winter Soldier is gonna be there as well.
Oh, I'd imagine so. They have some pretty good chemistry.
Yeah. So they can't I think at this point they can't not have him.
And I think the poster also showed Sharon Carter.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because they're reacting to the backlash of fans not really liking her being a villain in the TV show, so they're kind of
that wasn't a good idea at all.
And they're backtracking and saying she's deep cover or something, because it really wasn't a good idea.
Villain in the what? Villain.
She was one of the bad guys in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh shit! I was thinking.
Remember at the end, she was like the Joker.
I was thinking the old one. I was like, okay, yeah. Sorry.
You're thinking Peggy.
I was thinking Peggy. Yeah, I was thinking Peggy. Yeah. So yeah. Sorry, thinking wrong person. Yeah.
No worries.
You're right. Yeah. So that is when May 3rd, 2024. Yeah. So they haven't started doing anything with that yet. So pre-production is probably just starting going anytime now for that. And then Thunderbolts.
That's the one I'm waiting for.
Yeah, is that July 26, 2024. So that's like not exactly, but I guess some people could say it's like the Marvel's version of Suicide Squad, but it's not.
It's the closest analog.
Yeah, close analog, but it's not
the first version though.
But not exactly, but the closest analog. Yeah.
The first version, I honestly was a much better concept. It was a good concept that carried Marvel through the late 90s there. After Hero, you know how Onslaught happens, where most of the heroes sacrifice themselves to defeat Onslaught.
Okay.
And then so for the next little bit, we had the Heroes Reborn universe, where you had Cap and Iron Man and the Avengers doing
that was all like the various image creators. Studios have their crack.
That's that's a huge chest Cap.
Exactly.
Yep.
Now, this was going on in the Marvel universe. The Marvel universe continued on without those characters. Everyone just thought they were dead. So this new team shows up, the Thunderbolts, who are jumping in and they're saving the day and they're doing heroic stuff, and people are starting to fall in love with them. But secretly, the Thunderbolts are all actually supervillains posing as heroes because their leader has some big plan.
It's Baron Zemo and the Masters of Evil.
Yeah.
Masters of Evil.
Yeah, no, he had started putting together a new incarnation of Masters of Evil, had the whole idea of that this time we'll we'll masquerade as superheroes, and we'll ingratiate ourselves into the superhero community. We'll learn all their secrets, and then we will betray them. Ha 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 ha! It's
It's very
brilliant.
evil.
And
But
then
guess what?
And then Heroes Reborn or Hero Onslaught happens. The Avengers and the Fantastic Four all die very publicly, and Baron Zemo is utterly defeated. He's like, there's nobody around to appreciate how masterful this betrayal will be.
This wasn't supposed to happen this way.
Let's do it anyway. Let's do this anyways. And
It turns out they like actually
because they
being
realize
heroes
like one of the characters he's got is Moonstone. Oh yeah, no, because like once he realizes like, wait, there's no heroes, like, well, we can do this. And they jump in and they start instead sucking up to the government, the city officials, give us access to all the superhero goodies that you let them have. And like Dan said, a few of the villains kind of liked doing good. You know, they in the early days, they had to make a legitimate show of being actual heroes. They couldn't, like, one of the characters does a bank robbery and immediately gets chastised by Baron Zemo. Like, no, we can't use this money. We have to look like we're struggling. If we don't appear to be a struggling upstart superhero team, they're not going to take us seriously, and they're not going to trust us with all their secrets. You know,
fucking up our plan, mister.
Yeah, he takes us really seriously. And well, that one guy is one of the ones who really likes going good. You know, once he starts to really make a go of it and sees that, oh my God, this actually leads to self-respect. I like myself. I forgot what liking myself felt like.
I like myself today.
Yeah,
like yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah, no, and he wasn't the only one. And like one of the other Thunderbolts is like nowadays Avengers level hero. Like a couple of characters comment during her time in Thunderbolts, like, you know, with the stuff you've been doing, you should be on the Avengers. And I'm like, well, yes, some of us don't get to be on the Avengers. And well, I'm pretty sure she is an Avenger now. So the idea of having a group, like I would rather see our beloved MCU Baron Zemo put together the classic Thunderbolts, like not like the classic characters from the comic, but just like
what's the original list?
The original ones were we had Dr. Carla Sofen, Moonstone. She was masquerading as Meteorite, and she was also hiding like half of her powers.
As you do.
We had Abner Jenkins, who was the original Beetle, Spider-Man villain with like kind of like half Iron Man, half Green Goblin type of battle armor. Always trounced by Spider-Man. He is now Mach 1, who reinvents himself as Mach 2, Mach 3, Mach 4, Mach 5, I think. We've got Melissa Gold, who was Screaming Mimi, one of the grapplers, I think they were. It was a group of female wrestlers who also did super crimes. Like they were employed as female wrestlers, and they were employed as a female supervillain team. Like this was their day job.
Nice.
Yeah, she was the only one of who didn't get super strength and super durability as her artificial upgrade. She got like sonic abilities.
Nice.
She becomes Songbird and is the most toyetic and likable of the team. We've got Norbert Ebersol, who was Fixer. He was a Hydra section chief. He's now Techno. They're the fixed guy of the team. And we had Eric Jostin, who was Goliath, I think was his early incarnation. He was Baron Zemo's bodyguard.
Oh, nice.
The younger Zemo, not the old one, like Helmet, not Heinrich.
Right.
He becomes Atlas.
Nice.
And that's the original team.
Right.
They add a few characters here and there.
You forgot about.
Oh right, yeah, no, he has Citizen V, claiming to be the grandson of a Golden Age hero. Strangely enough, the actual supposed grandson of Citizen V shows up as Citizen V himself. There's other weird stuff going on with that. It's a lot of fun to really get the full enjoyment of.
As comics do, really. So yeah, so that
it's just one of those ones where the story just builds and builds, progresses, and the narrative is kept up pretty well for several years. Like when Fizz passes the torch of long-term plans that he had and not played out, the next writer was like, oh, this is fun. This is a lot of fun. I can work with this. Oh, I'm definitely working with this. So none of those old ideas really got dropped. Like one of the really long running subplots like met its proper conclusion, like the way originally intended, like the reveal of like who this mystery hidden character was. Like they never wavered on who it was going to be, and like only one person ever guessed who it was. And I'm not saying anything about what character it is, so that's something that can be enjoyed if you're reading Thunderbolts, because
so
even when that era ends, it reinvents itself and reinvents itself and reinvents itself.
So that comes out July 26, 2024. So like 2 years. So got a while for that still. And then the movie that everyone's been waiting for a long time is Fantastic Four. Is November 8th, 2024.
Yep.
So
I've heard rumors
we know
we might
nothing
hear
about it really.
Well, I hear we might hear who's being cast at D3 because they want to reveal something big at D3.
Yeah, and that's like around the same time as Fan Expo, right? Like August-ish, or
I think so.
Or is that okay?
Maybe September.
So we might have another month, a little while before that comes out. So so that's scheduled for November 8th, 2024. So 2 years. So here's hoping we got a good one this time.
Yep.
And then Avengers: The Kang Dynasty is May 2nd, 2025.
I believe that they've now said that Daniel Destin Cretton is going to be directing it.
Nice. And
he did Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I did hear that. Yeah, so that's so that's like 3 years down the road. So so we got a while still before and that is phase 6. And then Avengers Secret Wars.
Yep. And then there's also was an unannounced movie between the two of them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that means like Fantastic Four, we're most likely we're gonna get like a new Doctor Doom, because they can't Secret Wars with their Doom.
Well, I've heard rumors that Doom might show up in Black Panther 2 as well.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah. So yeah, because I've also heard something that Namor. Actually, like look in the trailer, that was like Namor, right?
Oh yeah, that's Namor.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't.
So,
as a Namor fan, I'm not impressed by the look. I don't like the facial hair, and he's a little bit too. He's too typical Marvel superhero beefy. Namor should be sleek and aquatic and streamlined. He doesn't need big, powerful muscles to demonstrate how powerful he is. But I'm still finally happy to see him on the big screen.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna complain too much. Just god damn it. He's the Lord of Atlantis. He can afford the best.
So at least so with that, you probably at least have like Doom like name check there, probably at the very least.
Something like that, yeah.
And then too, like I was hearing something that in Moon Knight, like one of the first times he blacks out and like wakes up.
He's driving that truck. The box is behind him.
Yeah, it is possibly could have been that but was never confirmed or anything. So
nothing else.
So I guess we'll find out eventually, but if that pans out or not. And then X-Men 97, so which if you guys hear the theme song for our podcast or know us, or I've probably talked about before, like that X-Men series is the fucking seminal for me, because I watched that and Spider-Man and Batman all at the same time, because I'm a bit older than you.
Same here.
Yeah, it's always like 11 or 12 when all that stuff was like starting to come out in Fox and stuff. So
I think X-Men started in 92. I was 7 at the time.
Oh, the complaints of having to go to swimming lessons because we would miss X-Men.
Or having to go out.
VCR didn't go high enough to record it.
It was
I'm pretty sure it was both.
Or is going out
over
with
the years.
Or going out with the parents who having to do stuff on the weekend and they don't want to leave you at home. You're like, fucking
X-Men.
No.
That was me. There's always stuff for our own benefit, like this is for you, and in the long run, karate and swimming lessons and all that kind of stuff did make us better people.
Yeah, but so.
But we wanted to watch X-Men. We were
I especially remember getting mad. Like it was like that day. It was like a cable episode, and like it was that the whole thing. And we were like, me and my sister were like, we're missing fucking cable. Well, we didn't say fuck because we were like 12, but
yeah, I can remember hanging out at a frankly somewhat someone's house just so we could watch X-Men, and it didn't really matter because he was just as into it as we were. So we were all just sitting like, yes, X-Men, next episode. First airing of this episode. We don't have to wait for the rerun to see it. Yeah.
And then I got in that little the taste of the theme song in Doctor Strange 2 when Patrick Stewart showed up.
And in Miss Marvel.
I haven't finished that yet.
Oh, you hear it for a quick second. Miss
like spoiler people are having that. It's like right at the end, but because I think I heard how it ends there. So, but I still need to watch it.
I had to watch it twice to catch that little bit though.
Because
the first time I didn't hear the music, so the second time I had to.
Because it's like suggested that she's a mutant, or
yeah.
Is that,
well, they don't flat out say mutant. They say that her brother asked her friend, who's like a genius, to look into his genetics to figure out, if he has powers too, and he noticed that Kamala had a different she had some sort of mutation that was different from the rest of her family. And when he said the mutation thing, then you hear that.
Okay. Hey, so I'll have to check that out. Yeah, so
I was watching through that one with my daughter because she girls superheroes that she wants to watch.
It's legit. So I watched the first episode and just need to catch the last couple of that. So
I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable.
I'm hearing good things about it. Yeah, so I just been watching too much stuff.
The only real complaints of hearing about it are just the kind of stupid racist bullshit that I really don't give a shit about. Like they can fucking complain all they want.
So shitty people being shitty, really.
Exactly, shitty people being shitty, right? Anyone who's not shitty is gonna go, okay, I'll watch it, and the other go, hey, I enjoy it, or hey, it's not for me. They won't complain about it.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I really liked Kamala. I got Imani. I can't remember her last name, but she's great.
Yeah. So I watched the first episode and like, she was great at it. So I just need to watch the other ones. It's 6 episodes too, right?
Yep, it's a short one.
Okay, so I just need to finish that. Yeah. So this week, as I said before, we are talking about Doctor Strange. So my first introduction to him was during the Spider-Man animated series that came out.
Yeah, but he had a little bit there.
Yeah, like because that was.
I think
we knew about him sort of stuff
from beforehand.
Yeah, no, you had Ghost stuff with him before that.
Yeah, for me, one of the major Ghost Rider introductions was The Rise of the Midnight Suns, and Doctor Strange is the Obi-Wan Kenobi guiding force in that story. Like he doesn't take a direct hand in what's going on, but like he's the one pushing all the different heroes in the directions they need to go to resolve the situation. So between that and I found as a kid a magazine from Marvel, a Marvel Age special in the Midnight Suns from late '93, and it was like a handbook for back all the old horror characters. And there was a fairly lengthy segment on Doctor Strange that all about Doctor Strange, Wanda, the various conflicts that he's gone through, the various enemies he's had, being taught by the Ancient One, his origin, like it covered everything. So, I got this idea that Doctor Strange was a really important character in the Marvel Universe. And throughout everything I have read, continuing on from there, I've never really seen anything to dissuade me of Notion. Like Doctor Strange he's one of the characters. If he says something, everybody sits up and takes notice. Like this is a guy Reed Richards defers to. This is a guy that Doctor Doom defers to. Like, Doom may want, like, he may conspire to take the role of Sorcerer Supreme for himself, but that's more of the power that it affords. Doom would be a good Sorcerer Supreme. He would do the job adequately, but he doesn't have the intuition and heart for it that Doctor Strange has. And we've seen that Strange is Doom's superior when it comes to the sorcerous arts.
Yeah, because if you go to that one story, Triumph and Torment, it comes down to the two of them to win the Sorcerer Supreme, right?
It has more to do with the fact that during the Battle of the Vishanti, there where all the sorcerers are trying to solve this mystic conundrum, Doom is the one who is standing back and actually assessing the situation, much like Doctor Strange is. Like Strange is like, come on guys, like we should approach this with caution, and other sorcerers are just gung-ho slinging like mystical bolts.
We need to figure this out now.
And, like Strange is like, you guys, this is not how this should be played. And Doom's like, I'm a little in over my head, but my systems are keeping up. They're tracking what's going on here. I'm learning a lot. Doctor Strange looks over. Okay, his gestures and mannerisms are really stiff and mechanical, but holy crap, he is pulling off some spells he shouldn't be able to pull off. And by virtue of being, a more patient type of individual, Doom is the only other person left standing when Doctor Strange has solved the problem. So, that leads to Doctor Strange having to grant Doom a boon, which was one of Doctor Strange's first real challenges once he became the actual Sorcerer Supreme. He had, before Triumph and Torment, he had been appointed a Sorcerer Supreme by the Ancient One, but he basically hadn't gotten the commission from the guys who actually give the job. That tournament was what determined it. It was kind of a no-brainer that Doctor Strange was going to win. But as the winner, anybody who survived, well, anybody left standing, because nobody died. Anybody left standing, they get you got to do something for them. And Strange is like, I will not help Doctor Doom with his world domination conquests. That'd be abhorrent. And Doom's like, you really think I would want your help to take over the world? No, I don't want help in politics. And then he talks about what he really wants help with, and Doctor Strange is like, that's what you want help with? Oh man, you could have come to me with that anytime and I would have helped you. Doom doesn't beg. So Strange was kind of a little bit humbled at that point, like, okay, maybe shouldn't really judge things by their reputation. I mean, by that point, he'd been sorcerer or master of the mystic arts long enough that he should have learned it. Yeah. But, he had a fair bit of arrogance to his character that, you don't shed all at once when you're becoming, the master of the mystic arts. Sorry, it's kind of staring at me from the little paperback collection that I've got here on my desk. Yeah, Stanley presents Doctor Strange, Master of the Mystic Arts, all in full color.
I have Triumph, Torment, and the Oath sitting right here myself.
Yeah, Triumph and Torment is sitting under that. My Marvel Age special is under that. Into Shambhala is under that. And then one of my essentials is under that. Did you know that there's only 4 actual Doctor Strange graphic novels?
Really?
Oh, you think more than that.
You'd think so, but I was looking up, just double checking stuff on Strange, and it's like, yeah, and then here's all the stuff he was in, and then there's like 4 graphic novels, and I'm like, I've got 3 of those. You got Triumph and Torment, you got Into Shambhala, you've got What Is That Disturbs You, Stephen, which is the other one that I've got, and then there's the Spider-Man crossover graphic novel, Way to Dusty Death, I think it was called. Don't have that one. I've been looking for it, but like, I was surprised. Like that's it, just those 4.
Oh, the oath is one too.
Well, no, the Oath is a 5-issue miniseries.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that one in singles.
Hey,
There's lots of one shots and miniseries and other stuff like that.
one, yeah.
The Oath is fantastic. Like it is definitely a story worth having.
Okay, because that's the one where is that the one where he's really trying to figure out his death, like who murdered him, or is that
Wong has been diagnosed with terminal cancer, and Strange will not accept this, so he starts looking for a panacea and actually finds one. But there are other parties involved with trying to find this panacea, and when you've got a pharmaceutical company trying to get involved, you know that their intentions can't be good.
no? Yeah, usually, never good. So what's that Doctor Strange 1-2 where he's like in astral form, and he's like trying to figure out like who like was trying to murder him. That's like a story.
He did get shot in Doctor Strange: The Oath, and he is helping Night Nurse with the surgery to. He's using his astral form to.
Maybe that's one thing. Maybe.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of a different spot where like he was always using his astral form, but like a specific like, oh, solve my mystery while totally in astral form, like narrow it down a little bit more. Maybe I'll figure it out then.
Yeah. So what do you think of the movie that came out?
I enjoyed it.
The Multiverse of Madness.
It was fun. America Chavez was a good new character to it. It was great seeing the Illuminati, even if it wasn't exactly what they were in the comics. It was still great seeing them, and I thought it was a good continuation of Wanda's story.
Yeah. I really wasn't fully expecting Wanda to be like the de facto villain for the movie, but I wasn't bothered by it at all. I get it.
Logically within the story, it all made
like
sense.
she didn't act too logically the entire time, but given how distraught with grief she is, not necessarily going to act completely rationally. Yeah. So knowing how bonkers she can get in the comics,
House of M, tough.
Oh hell, even before then, I've got like a 3-issue 3 issues of Avengers where she goes all like Evil Dead, Wundagore Mountain possessed, kill all the Avengers.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's one of Chithon's favorite humans to watch.
And who's Chithon?
Marvel Cthulhu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the best.
Marvel Nyarlathotep. I don't know. He kind of equates to the Lovecraftian elder gods.
Okay.
He's of the. Actually, I first learned about it right here. What were the pantheon of elder gods that ruled beforehand? There was a whole bunch of them, but then there was conflict. The Demogorg rose up and started eating, devouring, just taking out everything in existence. When all was said and done, there were only 4 elder gods left. We had Chthon, hero of the Darkhold. We had Set. You remember like the Conan cartoon and stuff like that when we were kids, like all the Snake Men and stuff.
Yeah.
The Set that they worship, that's basically the Set from the Marvel universe, except that he's usurping the real Set. That snake god is just kind of pretending to be a bigger, even badder god. Set is the first elder god to have murdered another one. And then the other 2 are good ones. There's Gaia, who would be the Earth Mother. And what was the last one left?
Who is the last one?
Can't remember the last one left. It was another good one.
I do not remember.
Well, no, because the good ones aren't, exciting. They don't get a whole headline the way like Chthon or Mephisto or Zarathos does.
Oh, Mephisto. You said Mephisto. He's your show. So do you think? So do you think
so
we'll ever actually see a Mephisto?
Maybe we can get around to Ghost Rider coming out.
I kind of hope that we don't see Mephisto until we finally get Silver Surfer by himself. When we finally get a Silver Surfer solo series, that's when I want to finally see Mephisto show up.
Why does that? The two of them have?
That's where Mephisto first appeared. His very first appearance was in Silver Surfer number 3, I want to say.
Oh, nice.
Like way back in the 60s, number 3. Like Mephisto's a lot earlier than you might think.
Nice.
But yeah, he was in the early days. He was very single-minded on trying to corrupt the pure soul that was Norrin Rad. You know, if he could get just that one soul, he'd be so happy.
You just turn that one guy.
No, never get it.
So like once we get the Fantastic Four movie, do you think we got like a Proctor Galactus?
Oh, absolutely.
I think that's something that if the entire Marvel plan here doesn't eventually like implode and fizzle out after so many years, yeah, we probably would get Galactus.
I think they'll do it properly, considering the fact they already showed us the Celestials.
Yeah. So yeah.
So they did the Celestials makes me think.
Because
they've already got audiences comfortable with beings on that kind of a scale.
Yeah, because a couple of Celestials saw their headgear kind of looked Galactus-esque because he only has like the one on each side instead of like the 3, right?
He does have
all the Celestials look a little different.
Yeah, Galactus has some form of relation to them, but he is not a Celestial himself.
But he's celestial sized, like
he is a like the Phoenix. He is just part of the cosmos. Like he is a fundamental part of existence.
They're kind of like eternity in Love and Thunder.
Yeah, well, eternity is existence.
Yeah, but not on that level of stuff, or just under.
Just a level below that.
Yeah,
like he's part of like the hierarchy that would be just below eternity. Like on eternity's level, that's you're getting to like existence itself. Like at eternity's level, I think there's only one other above him, and that is like the one above all, like the one meant to be the representation of like the Christian God,
the God of gods or whatever.
Yeah, God, capital G God. Yeah, that's that sort of thing.
Yeah,
the things that they don't like to play around with too much in the Marvel universe. They'll play around with the darker stuff, but as soon as they start playing around with the lighter religious stuff, that's when
it's best
they get
not,
cold feet.
Yeah, it's best not to get that crowd.
Someone will get offended.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, Ghost Rider, in the early 70s, there was a story arc that was building up where, as Johnny Blaze found himself under more and more trial and strain and crisis, the more he felt that he was being defeated, the stranger character kept showing up to give him guidance and reassurance and encouragement. And the plan was that was going to be revealed to be Jesus Christ. And Marvel got cold feet and decided that they couldn't go ahead with depicting, an actual religious figure like that. And it became a whole, plot by Mephisto. So having the sudden 180 on it and the stranger character to be a villain the whole time, it really doesn't work very well. And you'd think Marvel would learn their lesson, but no, there's been time and time again where they've tried to use more biblical elements and never really works out. I mean, like, look at the way Ghost Rider is happening right now in the comics. Like all the fallen angel crap that Daniel Way came up with and foisted off onto Jason Aaron. They don't really talk about much of that crap anymore. It never really fit in the first place. And the mythology that the current writers grew up with reading, well, no, the fallen angel stuff doesn't make any sense compared to that. So, yeah, out the window. We're going back to the fun stuff that we enjoyed in the 90s.
Ooh, the 90s. Crazy times indeed.
say what you will, there was good stuff in the 90s. There was plenty to enjoy.
Yeah.
I just had to have an open perspective.
Yeah. So was the Spider-Man like animated series like a two-parter, or was it just like the one episode with Doctor Strange? Do you remember?
I think he showed up more than once throughout the series.
Okay.
Yeah, Spider-Man it's been so long since I've watched it, but I seem to recall there being pretty guest appearance happy with the popular characters. Like I definitely remember Blade showing up more than once.
Yeah,
Blade showed up more than once. Then Doctor Strange had to have shown up more than once.
Yeah, Blade had like at least 2 to 3 appearances. Yeah, because I think he showed up later on.
Well, had Morbius.
Yeah, him and Morbius like teamed up or were teamed up for like fighting.
It definitely opened the door for it.
Yeah.
His plasma. I'll never get over that. The first time as a kid, I recognized like that's not right. No. He's a vampire. Why?
Yeah, I know plasma is a part of blood, but
as a kid, I knew that. Like I knew that plasma was an element of blood that they were referring to as to get around the censors. But the suction cups in his hands.
Yeah, suction. Yeah, that made no sense. Yeah,
man. You're really, really pushing it. Glitch. BS and P.
Yeah, I got to watch that show again. I loved it though. So yeah, it's still good.
Oh, it's classic.
Yeah. But yeah, circling back to Doctor Strange.
So he's like, so just like he's like the main like Marvel magic guy, right? Yes.
Yeah. When the early days were being plotted out by the various architects of the Marvel universe in the early 60s, Steve Ditko came up with Doctor Strange all on his own. Like he handed off the script to Stan Lee, and it seems Stan wasn't too enthusiastic about it. Like, all right, well, we're throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks. Let's throw this too. And even though the story is quite dry for the first while in it, Ditko is using it as an excuse to just run with the artwork. He's doing all kinds of crazy mystical stuff that just hadn't been seen before in comics. This is where stuff like Eternity is first depicted, and like
really in Doctor Strange.
In Doctor Strange, yes. It was one of Baron Mordo's plots. It was always Baron Mordo, Nightmare, or Dormammu in the early days. But Eternity was the big reveal in the first real story arc in Doctor Strange and Strange Tales. It was the title that was shared along with Nick Fury. So you had Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and you had Doctor Strange, and Nick Fury was clearly the headliner. But as the months and years went by, Doctor Strange started to get more and more popularity, and eventually to the point where he's pretty evenly trading covers with Nick Fury. But it was, again, mainly the art. Like, there's so much going on in the early days that's really kind of vague. Like, in reading them, I didn't think Wong showed up until like a year or so. But then I'm checking out like his Wikipedia page, and it's saying, oh yeah, Wong's right there from issue 110, the very first appearance of Doctor Strange. They just don't name him until 119. And I'm thinking like, I don't remember Wong being named until way later. But yeah, it's Wikipedia. We'll just leave it at that.
Yes, always super reliable.
It is definitely the artwork that drives things. Like, with the exception of Doctor Strange himself, because as a figure, he's unusually stiff for what you would expect from Ditko, especially off of Spider-Man.
Is that Ditko draw as well as you just reading?
Oh, Ditko is the one drawing it.
Oh, okay.
But it is done Marvel methods, so like he's he's basically plotting it with the art itself,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then Stan's just filling in the gaps later. And a lot of the mystical mumbo jumbo he's coming up with is just that, mumbo jumbo. Like, they're just phrases that don't really mean anything. Like, Stan is not the kind of writer who's going to, do research and reference things, like not the way like somebody like Steve Gerber would, or the way Alan Moore does. He's from a different school. Like, there are other comic book writers that I know of where projects of theirs have been derailed or outright didn't happen because they couldn't get the proper research to tell the story properly. Whereas Stan's just like, oh, just get the words on the page and
Like
get it
whatever.
out there. So it really is just a matter of throwing it at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, the villains are clearly something that they hit it off with right away, even if it's really unclear just exactly what is going on with Baron Mordo's hair in the early days. Like, after a while, it gets revised into something that actually makes a bit more sense. But
Does he have living hair?
He's got the weirdest hat hair you've ever seen.
It is.
Like, that's the only way I can describe it. But like, the stiffness of the overall characters even extends to like facial expressions. Like, Doctor Strange always has a grim look on his face. Like, he very rarely smiles. Like, it's a blessing when Clea finally gets introduced to things, even though they don't seem to name her for, again, quite some time. Like, she is just like that female or that silver-haired girl or
that person over there.
That they've no, like, she gets involved pretty quick. Like, she witnesses an early battle between Strange and Dormammu and is like, holy crap, somebody is standing up to Dormammu. That's not supposed to be able to happen, but it's happening. All right, I'm interested in this guy. And like, she keeps an eye on him, she keeps tabs on him, and like, it's, again, clearly no real plan in place, because she is used as a victim and pawn, not just by Dormammu, but by Umar. When Umar shows up, Dormammu's sister, who is even more like, the only reason Dormammu gets all the attention is because he's the one who inherited the Flames of the Fall team. He's the one who got like the royal power or whatever it would be from their parents. Like, Umar is a more powerful sorceress than Dormammu is, but he's got the flame, so he's the one in charge, even though she's generally quite scarier than he is. These horrible villains keep manipulating this poor silver-haired female, and I still hadn't, like, in rereading some of this stuff, I haven't gotten up to the point where it's revealed that, oh yeah, Clea is Umar's daughter. That makes her Dormammu's niece. And neither of them have any acknowledgement of this anytime they're torturing the poor girl.
And it's Clea that shows up in Doctor Strange in the one.
That's who
Charlize Theron's playing.
I had to ask as we were watching that, because her hair is not right.
Yeah,
sorry.
I
need to give Clea the alien curls.
And I hadn't read much enough Doctor Strange to be like, I have no idea who that is.
It's like when Charlize Theron walks out of the portal, it's basically like you've got,
and that's Dormammu's niece.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, that she's Dormammu's niece. But like, when she walks out of the portal in the movie, it's like, Vampirella, right?
Yeah.
Vampirella's got a twin sister, Draculina, who is blonde and wears a black outfit. So when Clea walks out, I'm thinking this is the Vampirella Draculina to
this is how we got Blade
to Hela. Like,
oh, okay.
She's like, Hela's the one in black and Clea's the one in white, and they look far too much the same. So I'm like, when Clea's got all like these weird curls and swirls and stuff to her hairstyle, like as part of like being an alien, why aren't you like having fun with that and playing with that as, a costume designer, or like whatever the role might be for putting these characters in their visual depictions. Why would you go with just straight plain hair? Like, yeah, it's silver, great.
Shelly
You had a
is
chance to
probably
do
just like, don't fucking
something
touch the hair.
visually. It's a wig. It's a wig.
Give him
Obviously a wig.
Give him a chance for the the sequel when she actually shows up. They'll maybe put a little more effort into it.
Here's the hope in that like she like maybe goes Super Saiyan occasionally, like when she like powers up, that's when the curls appear. Maybe again, like as she's been reminding everybody in the current Strange series where she has taken over for the now dead Doctor Strange.
Spoiler
She is a no, it's happened for a while. This is comics, man. Come on. Spoilers only count for like what, 3 months?
Not even.
But yeah, no, she's like there are a few issues deep into her series, and she
wait, when did
Supreme.
When did he die in the comics?
Last year, there was a whole Death of Doctor Strange event.
Oh, okay. I think I remember. Okay, yeah. Now that you mentioned that, I think I remember.
In fact, issue 4 of the Strange series starring Clea just came out today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But yeah, no, she keeps reminding everybody that, like, she comes from the Dark Dimension.
Okay, yeah.
She comes from Warlord stock.
And that
he's not some, do-gooder former surgeon who's now the Sorcerer Supreme. She's a conqueror who is
and it was like the Dark Dimension that was the end of the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's Dormammu. I've come to bargain.
Yeah, like the repeats.
There are people that live in the Dark Dimension.
Okay.
Like one of the recent issues that of her story, someone used something on her that was supposed to cancel out her magic, and it didn't work. And then when of course they're all confused about it, she's just like, okay, so magic comes from different places. The magic you're using and going against is not the magic that I have. I have this magic as well as other magics. You're not going to stop me.
Yeah. Yours doesn't cancel out mine.
Yeah. And also, it's not just that. Like, from what I understand, she's not a flesh and blood creature. Like, yes, she has human form, but technically, like, she's an energy being.
Oh, those crazy energy beings.
Yeah, like from what I understand, like the denizens of the Dark Dimension, the peoples that live there, like they're energy beings. They just happen to have a form that looks just like
human
people, because comics.
Anthropomorphic or whatever, or the fuck it's called.
Well, anthropomorphic would be like
that's
the crazy human animal things that Dr. Bong makes over in Howard the Duck. French made ducks like Fifi. Yes, that's a thing.
Fucking Howard the Duck. Such a bad movie.
She dies in a flying bong crash and is mistaken for a UFO. Or Fifi.
That sucks.
Yep. But for Doctor Strange, like, I know we haven't really been talking a whole lot about like his chronological history here, because this is a guy who has been active like since, what was his first appearance? 1964.
Mads Mikkelsen's character from the first movie.
Oh, Caecilius.
Was that actual like a comic villain? Or
from what I understand, he is from the comics, but like he's a non-entity. He's a very, very minor character in the overall scheme of things. But those of us fans that know like just the comics in general, as Caecilius and his followers are being sucked into the Dark Dimension at the end of that first Doctor Strange movie, you can see they are transmogrifying into mindless ones. The comic never really establishes what mindless ones are, other than big mindless energy blasting golem things that populate the Dark Dimension. Like, I don't think there's anything about them being like, corrupted followers of Dormammu, because in the Dark Dimension, everybody is a follower of Dormammu. That's just how it is. You don't have a choice. So one of the things that makes Dormammu the actual leader of his people and not just some tyrant is that he keeps his people safe from the mindless ones. But there is a massive energy dome surrounding his city that his people, they can go through if they need to, but like the mindless ones, like they, on the outside of it, they can hammer on all they want and they can't get through. The people that Dormammu rules over are at least kept safe by that threat. So you know, he makes the trains run on time. He's yeah, no, that was horrible. But Dormammu is horrible. That's these villains.
Yeah, so it all works out, I suppose.
You gotta make fun of them somehow. You can't just have the Hulk sneak up behind him and thunderclap his head extinguished like a candle every time. As funny as that is.
Oh, that'd be fun.
It is. It is. No, he seriously does that in the Defenders miniseries from the early 2000s. Indefensible. I mean, that's the. I think that's the unofficial title. Yeah, but it's the one by I've told you about it before. The one by the Bwahaha League team.
Yeah.
Thaddeus Geffen and Maguire.
Yeah.
You had a chance to check that one out yet?
Not yet. I was just going to say that didn't sound familiar. So I still need to. Pick that out. I need to.
It's just a 5-issue miniseries from
the early 2000s. Note of that.
Yeah.
Because I will forget. And plus, as I said, next month is Fan Expo, and I'm going. So
yeah,
if I can,
we're planning on going to.
Which day, or do you know yet?
I hadn't really made up my mind.
Well, I'll be around.
It's got to be a Saturday or a Sunday, one of the two.
The dreaded Saturdays.
I would probably rather go on Sunday.
Yeah, especially if Anime North is any indication, because it was like super packed this year apparently. So,
well, I got a couple of decent things at the Peterborough Con the other week. I finally got myself a copy of Howard the Duck #1.
Oh,
the
nice.
Last book I needed to complete the entire run of the original series. I found it for like $24.
Oh, that's not bad.
Oh yeah, no, it was a great condition copy, and that's way cheaper than what I've seen it go for a while.
Yeah, especially fucking online, people always fucking gouge. It's fucking
that book's being a victim of the speculator market from the word go. My understanding is that within a few months of its release, it was already selling for like up to $5 in the second or the aftermarket, like in comic book stores. And this is a book released for 25 cents on the newsstand. Can you imagine, like, in like 1970, 75, 76 when it started, a book you pay that has a cover price of 25 cents, you have to pay like up to $5 for.
No, thank you.
Yeah. It's from what I understand of the situation. It was a seriously hyped book, Howard the Duck #1, because like the character had already been a huge hit in the last issue of Man-Thing's Fear Adventure, had a couple of appearances in Snicker, giant-sized Man-Thing Snicker. But, the burgeoning comic book stores, they knew that this book was coming, and I've heard on one hand that distribution was just really bad for Howard the Duck #1. It just didn't make it to certain areas. But then I've heard equally that lots of retailers and distributors just sat on copies expecting the value to go up, and what do you know, it did, because it was scarce. And from what I have read, that's one of the earliest examples you can find of that sort of thing happening to a comic. I've heard of like issues of Vampirella and maybe some Conan. Like there's stuff in the day that was hot, like you go into the comic book store and they're like, one copy per customer kind of things.
Yeah.
But, like to the point where, again, like 3 or 4 months later, the prices. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not going to try to calculate how many times value the price jumped. It was lots and lots of times more expensive than it shouldn't be, but I got it finally.
Nice.
The namesake of my big dopey cat lying next to me. I finally have that complete. Ow! Let go. Let go.
You shouldn't have mentioned him, Aaron. You shouldn't have mentioned him.
He's decided he wants attention now.
Yeah, they knew you were talking about him.
Mine were doing that earlier, and then I had to kick one of them out because he kept trying to attack my headset.
Yes. You have kittens. Mine's now a senior. But yeah, no, I found it. Like, I found at least 2 keys that I needed, and I set a goal of I want issues. I'm looking for issues of Grendel, Nexus, or Badger, and I found a couple of issues of Badger. So it's enough to tide me over. But I got to do some deep dives. I got to dig through some bargain bins. I haven't had a chance to do that in years now.
Yeah. If you're in Toronto, you can go
The
to
fingers are itchy.
BMV.
Yeah, you think we should go there every time we're in Toronto?
BMV.
Yeah, no, we definitely should. Need to stop spending money online and save some to spend in person.
I hear that. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait for finance.
Yeah, some Doctor Strange will definitely be on my list at that point.
Yeah.
But I'll have many things on my list.
Yeah.
Too many lists to list.
Yeah, I think I'll take a try and pick up that the Death of Doctor Strange and read that. Yeah.
Yeah, I need. There's a bunch of modern stuff I need to catch up on, but I like older stuff better. Don't mean to sound crotchety, but there's still so many like classic stories from older runs, older publishers, older titles that are still so compelling. Like as I mentioned, I was looking for issues of Badger, Nexus, and Grendel. Like those books all still hold up to this day, and in various incarnations are still being published to this day.
Very nice.
Oh yeah. But damn it, Marvel's got new Ghost Rider that, it's like old school Ghost Rider to me. They make Clea Doctor Strange, or just Strange, because she is technically his wife, so Clea Strange is technically her name if she wants to.
But she is not a doctor. No,
you're right. Well, we don't really know her full credentials in the Dark Dimension. I mean,
fair enough.
What are the requirements for being a doctor there?
She have a PhD in Dark Dimensions.
Well, no, I'm saying that like maybe in the Dark Dimension, just the simple fact that she has saved lives qualifies her for being a doctor there. Well, I mean, we don't. It's an alien culture. Yeah. Who are we to say?
So it would be any specific of those stories that you would suggest people to read?
Well, there's so much going on in Doctor Strange. Like it's worth checking out the early stuff if you've checked out other early Stan Lee stuff, early X-Men, early Spider-Man, early Thor, and you've enjoyed those kind of things. Well, yeah, definitely check out Doctor Strange. This is more of that Stan Lee hucksterism that we've all known and loved for so long. But if you're looking for some more depth, yeah, there's some better ones like Triumph and Torment that we've talked about many times. Like that one is, no matter how much you hype that book, it still would be underhyped. It's phenomenal. I mean, early work by Hellboy's own Mike Mignola. And you've got classic Roger Stern, Bill Mantlo, Jerry Conway. Wait a minute. That's wrong. That's the table of contents for the entire collection. Mine's got extras. Now, Triumph and Torment was just Roger Stern and Mignola. But, classic Doctor Strange, you've got Mignola, early in his career, and
that was before Hellboy, right?
Oh, well before Hellboy. I mean, Hellboy is not until I think 93.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no, he's early 90s.
Oh, okay.
Triumph and Torment is at least 80s. I know there's a fair bit of like. See, the funny thing is Mignola was considered a superhero artist for the longest time. Like, it wasn't until he did the backup serial Eddie Current in Ted McKeever's Metropole towards the end of the first volume. McKeever has Eddie Current from one of his earlier stories resurrected, and then the story of, okay, here's how Eddie makes his way into the main story. That was all done by Mike Mignola. And one of the things hyping it was that Mignola wants to draw monsters. Nobody will let him draw monsters. I'm going to let him draw monsters. And yeah, once Mignola got a taste of drawing the monsters and playing with thick shadows, like you can see in those Resurrection of Eddie Current backup strips, you can see a fair bit of what would become early Hellboy in terms of his art development. Like when you read stuff like Triumph and Torment, or from DC, he illustrated Cosmic Odyssey for Jim Starlin. You can see like it's structurally the same Mike Mignola, like the way he builds his characters, like the way like Hellboy carries himself and his silhouette. You'll recognize this in a lot of the early stuff. But Triumph and Torment, as beautiful as it looks, it definitely has more in common with like the Marvel type stuff than if you picked up a copy of Seed of Destruction and compare the two side by side. Like you would see some structural and thematic similarities, but there's still so much more growth there. And yeah, that makes Triumph and Torment another good sell. Is see what Mignola was like before he was at the top of his game. Another good one. If you dig the horror stuff, you've got a storyline in Doctor Strange issues 59 to 63 from the 80s series, where he and Blade and a couple of others wipe vampires out of existence. As Dracula is vying for extra power. He is going through sorcerous means to become even more dangerous. Like, sometimes people underestimate what kind of a major threat Dracula posed in general to the Marvel Universe. Still does, technically. I mean, you never can put him down permanently. But yeah, no, there's a story where Dracula's going for the Darkhold to get more powerful. So Doctor Strange, he's getting the Night Stalker's help, and eventually, no more vampires. But then we get a nice story in the 90s where, there's a sorceress in the Marvel Universe, Marie Laveau, who her immortality potion needs to be taken at, periodic intervals. And wouldn't you know it, one of the major ingredients is vampire blood. And what are you going to do when all the vampires are being wiped from existence? We'll try to find if there is such a vampire left. Hey, Morbius, you're a vampire, right? I'm not that kind of vampire. Are you sure about that? Come here. Well, that doesn't work. We find out that Doctor Strange made a mistake that ended up putting a hole in the spell he cast earlier. Now, we'll leave that one to the reader to find out more on. That one's the Vampire Versus. It's Doctor Strange 12. It's early in the monthly series. I want to say beginning of the teens to early teens. It's clearly labeled on the front. One of the covers was one of the ones involved in some controversy with Doctor Strange. There's an issue of Doctor Strange that was technically it is a recalled comic, but well, once it's been out for a couple of months, can you actually really recall it?
Not so much.
Okay, I'm guessing. Let's see, where is it? Oh, you don't have a quick link for it here? I've got a website saved here, Recalled Comics, and it's kind of fun to take a look through. You got a lot of interesting bits and pieces. Yeah, here it is. So this is coming from recalledcomics.com, their article on Doctor Strange issue 15, Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme. This is from 1990, issue 15. So Vampiric Versus was issues 14 onwards, because issue 15 is Vampiric Versus part 2 of 5. And the cover has a close-up of a face on it. You've on the lower right, you've got I'm pretty sure that's Marie Laveau, and you've got Victor Strange dressed up as Baron Blood, and behind them is this fairly realistically depicted face, and it's like in a light red, almost orangish shading. Yeah, that face was blatantly ripped from the cover of an Amy Grant CD collection. And
okay, I think I remember.
She was not happy about it. Being fairly Christian in her outlook, yeah, she took it to court, and the issue was supposed to be recalled, but this came out in, it was cover dated March, so this would have been out like at the beginning of 1990. And a court settlement in 91 isn't going to do a lot retroactively to the availability of this comic. I mean, being a recalled comic didn't affect my ability to find a copy priced no differently than any other copy. I mean, this is not like, say, Spider-Man Reign #1, where maybe depending on where you're looking, you might have trouble finding a recalled version.
Good thing I got the recalled version.
Why was that recalled for?
You saw Spider-Man's junk.
The good old junk shot.
It was silhouetted.
You didn't actually see it. Yeah, it was silhouetted, but it was
he's
clearly.
Waking. He's an old man waking up in bed, and he's sitting, at the side of his bed, and he's not wearing underwear. And the silhouette shows he's not wearing underwear. He's an old man. Who cares? Old man don't have to wear underwear if he lives alone, a lonely life. Lives alone. But yeah,
Spider-Man
certain groups saw that and raised a fuss, and raised a particular quick fuss because there was no explicit content warning on the cover of it. So yeah, you can actually look at that one on the Recalled Comics. They'll show you the uncensored panel if you want to see. And it's like it's nothing special. It's like,
hear that, Peter Parker?
It's old man junk. It's special. A couple of blobs. It is like honestly just a couple of blobs.
Hear that, Peter Parker? A couple of blobs.
Again, this is the alternate reality Peter Parker who killed his wife because of radioactive jizz.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Radioactive.
He can. There's plausible deniability on Peter's behalf there. No, it's not the real him. Besides, it's cold in that old man apartment. Yeah, no, this is a nice little fun thing to check out if you're a comic fan who's interested in some more of the behind the scenes shenanigans that can happen with trying to make a comic. Like even just on the left hand column, there's like a whole list of stuff. Like you've got like even titles like right at the top of the list, Action Comics. Where's the thing? I forget which issue it is, but I'm pretty sure they'll have an article about the Superman's babysitter issue. The one where I'm pretty sure it gets recalled because baby Superman ends up in the microwave in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's that one. Yeah. And then I imagine the Swamp Thing number 7 from the New 52, where like that one tendril looks like a dick or whatever that got recalled. I remember that being one that got recalled when I started collecting.
Oh, let me see here. There's all right.
I think it was
title Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I think it was from the New 52.
Swamp Thing 11 recalled due to suggestive tentacle.
Yeah, number that one. Yeah,
alluring.
Yeah, apparently it looked like a big old dong.
Like
or could have been taken that way.
Oh, the placement of the maggot creature. Yeah, I see. The artist knew damn well what they were doing.
Yes, they did.
Damn well.
Was that Yannick Paquette doing that still?
I think that's the name I saw here. Yeah. Oh, no, he's the cover artist.
Oh, okay.
Marco Rudy is the interior artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Scott Snyder's still writing that, I think.
Yep. Yeah, he's listed as the author.
Yeah.
Damn, man, and considering like one of the ones I have is like an issue of Hack Slash where the finale of it was supposed to be a 2-page spread, and whoever laid out the comic for printing put an ad in the middle of the 2-page spread.
Oh, those drive me nuts.
Oh yeah. So that's one where that's a rare example of me having 2 copies of the same comic, because I got the original printing and I can still remember the disappointment at getting to the end of like, wait, turning the page back and forth. Like, this is a 2-page spread. Oh, who screwed this up? And our local comic store, I guess, never got the replacement copies, because I can remember once or twice before they had like replacements for recalled books.
Yep, occasionally.
But I never got one for a Hack Slash, and I had to end up buying the corrected edition later on. And of course, like what's the point in getting rid of the recalled version?
Yeah.
I happened to get the alternate cover when I got the replacement copy, so cover A, cover B. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't think I've actually have any recalled comics in my collection. I don't believe.
Well, let's
As
take a look
of yet.
through this list at some point. You
Yeah,
might be
I
surprised.
might have to. I'll save this and see. But but at least to my knowledge, at least I don't have any.
Yeah. No, like there's a couple that I didn't realize had been recalled. Like there's a lot of stuff that are just like variants and things,
Yeah.
but like I didn't know that there was a corrected edition of my Hack Slash issue until I was looking through this website.
You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that could be better known a while ago, so I could have gotten it, but what else?
Yeah. No, I've like it was just one of those things. Well, that would have been on my list to find as soon as I had known about it, and I just wish I had known about it before.
Yeah.
Curious, by publisher, how many recalled comics do we have from Marvel?
Probably too many.
Oh, it's one of the bigger lists, it looks like. Oh yeah, it's a bigger list than DC, that's for sure. Yeah, scrolling through, like just dividing it up by publisher.
Right.
Yeah, Marvel is the biggest by a chunk, a significant chunk.
All right, so
we still love you, Marvel.
All right, so is there any other Doctor Strange stuff that we can cover? You think?
And it's sad that they had to call Shuma Gorath Gargantos.
Yeah, stupid.
And then that was what the that eye tentacle guy at the beginning of. Okay.
If you played any of those Marvel,
you played Marvel vs.
Capcom or Marvel superheroes or any of those ones.
Yeah, the crazy eyeball kung fu fighting eyeball tentacle thingy in those games. Yeah, that's the eyeball tentacle thing in the Doctor Strange movie. But they can't call him by his real name because that is owned by the guys that own Conan. That's where the name comes from, even if the actual eyeball thing doesn't.
Interesting. Alrighty, so if that hopefully leads people to be more interested in Doctor Strange and check it a bit more, because I have a feeling we'll probably be seeing him more so in the next little bit of the Marvel
Doctor
movie.
Strange never goes away in the comics, and
doesn't look like he's going anywhere.
Honestly,
in the
for
MCU.
the movies, for as long as Benedict Cumberbatch is having fun playing the role, I don't think he's going to give it up. And he looks like he is having genuine fun playing the character.
Yeah.
I mean, the door is still open for him to have more crazy shenanigans with Tom Holland as Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, he could come back still. Yeah. So hopefully.
I definitely want to see more of Spider-Man and Doctor Strange teaming up.
Yeah, I'll be down for that. Yeah,
that's some fun odd couple shenanigans.
I'm always down for shenanigans.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us this week. And next time we decide to do an episode. Join us next time we decide to do an episode. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe us on wherever you get podcasts, or check us out on Twitter at the Marvel Pod, or Instagram at the Multiverse at Marvel. And so check us out wherever you get podcasts like iTunes, Google, and all that stuff, and rate us anywhere there. And hopefully we'll catch you next time.